love social media. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of you are going to be probably giving me hate mail. I do like social media. In fact, I'm on it. I'm on multiple platforms. But if you are building your business solely on social media, you might be making a giant mistake. Here's why. Social media is great. We all use it for business. It's a way of getting out there. It's a way of connecting with people. But at the end of the day, social media can be changed. You don't own that platform. You don't own where you are. Now, here's what happened to me recently. I am on probably my main four are Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. And for no reason, Instagram decided to shut one that I have just specifically. I have an account just for one of my podcasts, and it decided to shut that down. It just said it was blocked. And it was says because I was gaining likes or gaining followers. I wasn't doing any of those. I didn't have anything hooked up to it. The only thing I had hooked up to it was a social media sharing, which had been hooked up for years that I used to post with. But they shut it down. Now, if that was my sole platform, and I know a lot of people are doing this is why I'm talking about this, a lot of people are using something like an Instagram as their sole platform for business. And the idea is that that can change at any time. You have no idea what Facebook or Instagram, or, well, they're both the same actually, Twitter or any of the social media platforms plan on doing. Their job is not to make sure that they stay the same for you. Their job is to make sure they're evolving to get more users onto their site. And by getting more users, of course, the advertising dollars follow it. So if you're just using that as a way to build your business, then you might be making a grave error. And I tell this to people all the time. I go, look, social media is great as far as using it as a way to, share things and, get your name out there. Hey, I get business off social media. I get people who follow me and then they decide to hire me on social media. But that doesn't mean that that's the best way to do it. If I was to just have my business, and I've seen people do this where they just have their business on Facebook, and then Facebook changes the algorithms or changes the way they do things, then you might be in big trouble. I'm sure many of you remember years ago when Facebook made a giant change in the way that they were sharing, and your posts were not going as far as they would. You'd have 5,000 people on your list, and only, at a time, there was a time when all 5,000 people would get a notification when you shared something. Now you got 5,000 people on your list, and 500 of them actually get some kind of a post, or people turn off a notification, or they've stopped looking at you. And so this is why I never worry about the numbers of social media. I would rather have smaller numbers and an engaged audience than have large numbers and no engaged audience. And so be very careful how you're building your business. If you're a creative entrepreneur and you're like me, content creation is my big thing. That's what I focus on. And if you are focusing on content creation, then make that your focus. Have a website where that's the hub. And share to those social media platforms. I'm not saying stop your social media, but do not make that your whole goal to just do that, because you are going to find that you are making big errors. When something changes, and we've seen it happen with Google, we've seen it happen with Instagram, we've seen it happen with Twitter, they are all making changes to either, it's a change in their algorithm, whether it's a change in the way they're doing business, whether it's a security change, it doesn't matter what it is. There is a place for social media, but it should not be your only place. You need to be diversified off of that should one of those go down. So I always suggest have your website, create your content. Let's say, I get people who say, I want to start a YouTube channel. That's great, start a YouTube channel. But don't put the content only on your YouTube channel. Have a website where you can be having the content. Keep a copy of the content for yourself. Please, all these live videos that everybody loves doing, they're doing it on Instagram. A lot of times, once they're up there, they're gone. You cannot see these live videos anymore. So you don't have a copy of those unless you've saved it to your phone, and it depends on the platform, depends on the device, whether that works or not. But really, if you have that copy and then you upload it, at least you always have that copy. Should the platform change, you have a way of changing as well and moving to another platform or repurposing that content, something like that. As a content creator, I can tell you that you want to make sure that you have it, save it on your hard drive. I don't throw out any content. But the ones who are using things just on social media, you may be having trouble down the road, because social media will change. It's changing, it's ever evolving, and it will change again. And when it changes again, it might benefit you or it might be a problem for you. Hopefully it's not going to be a problem for you. And this is why we're talking about this today, because I just recently had this happen, and I am not one of these people who pay thousands of dollars for ads. These are not things I normally do. I tried on Twitter for about a month. You know, as far as buying likes, it was not people that I want, so I stopped. So yeah, I will not have the biggest numbers. I realize that, but hopefully I got the best content. Hopefully that's why you're watching this video. So if you're building your business just on social media, I just want to put out a word of caution. Please, please, please always keep copies for yourself offline that you can repurpose should something happen, should the site go down, should they change the rules of engagement, should they change the way that you're allowed to share. All those kind of things are a good reason to keep your content offline. If you don't want to have your own website and you want to build something online, just make sure you keep a copy. But I would suggest highly that you actually go and create something that is your hub and use the social media to drive people back to your website or back to your place. Something that you can control, something that you know how to get in there, that no changes can be made unless it's you making them. And you know, something like a website, whatever platform you like to use, but something that you can control and you know where things are. Because if you just rely on using social media, you might be like me. If that was my only business was on Instagram, I would have been out of business for 4 days last week. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. Hope you enjoy that.